Hey guys, welcome to TomGirl. We are on episode 23 and we're here with singer-songwriter Leslie Powell. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Music to kick in. Oh, so good. Hey, we have Leslie Powell here. Leslie, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Tell everybody real quick as we get going where they can follow you on social media so they can look you up while we're doing this.
Instagram is Leslie Powell Music. Twitter's Leslie610. And then Facebook is the same, Leslie Powell Music.
And I highly recommend the Instagram is so good. Lots of great shots on there, so you'll get some good stuff there. All right, well, let's take it way back to where, like, growing up, was music always part of your life? When did you start singing?
Oh my gosh, music has been my family's life forever. Like, even at the dinner table, we loved musicals growing up, so at the dinner table, my dad would just, if someone was like, oh, what a beautiful day, my dad would go, oh, what a beautiful morning. Like something, everyone would turn into a song, everything. So yeah, music's been a part of my life forever. And then I did a performance troupe for a long, long time. And then when I went into high school, I was like, I learned that I could write. I took a creative writing class. And I learned that writing was a real thing that, you know, you could turn into music. And so that's kind of where the creative process began.
Like, oh, I love this.
Yeah, it was really cool because you don't know you can do something until my brother was like, you should try it. I was like, Glenn, I'm not good at this. He was like, try it. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And then now it's what I do.
Yeah, that's great. Yep, you got to try,
really
right?
fun, yeah.
So when did you start, performing shows back then, or?
I did, well, I was doing traveling shows with a dance troupe and a music troupe, so together it's more musical theater. And then I started thinking like, oh, I actually kind of want to write my own music and do the artist thing, so I switched. And when I went in college, I started going back and forth to Nashville, and I'd spend the summers in Nashville and then come back and go to school. So I just kind of kept flip-flopping, and finally when I graduated, I was like, I think I need to go to Nashville. And so it's the best.
Well, you love it.
I love that city.
Yeah, I have to say, I was just there a month ago. I was telling you before, and I was like, I fell in love. It was
It's
so
the best.
great. It was.
The people are kind, the city's fun, like, there's just nothing better.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you were in a pretty good city in college, though, too. One of my other favorite cities, because you were at University of Texas in Austin.
Welcome, baby.
I'm not supposed to like you guys because I went to Nebraska, but I always have. Like, when we played basketball there, I played college basketball, and that was my favorite, like, campus. I loved it. I loved it. But anyway, I love that city. So you were in two great music towns, being in Austin and Nashville. So did you play in Austin then as well throughout in college?
Yeah, I did. I'd have little shows, and it was so fun. All my friends would come, and it was fun, but Austin and Nashville are so different musically. Austin's a very live-driven town, so everyone comes in and plays there, but there's no business there. So Nashville's kind of where you need to go to make your career and to make things happen. And then I always go back, and I'll go back and play shows, and, you know, everyone that I've known from growing up will still come to my shows.
While we're on Austin real quick, we have your parents here too, and you guys can't see them, but the parents are here as well.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite spots in Austin?
Oh my gosh. Tacos. I love tacos. Torchies is wonderful. Barbecue, Salt Lick. I always go run Town Lake when I'm there. But it's changed so much since I've been gone that every time I come back, I feel like there's 10 new buildings up. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. But it just keeps getting more and more fun. Yeah. And the restaurants keep getting better, and but the traffic's getting worse too.
I went out to Lake Travis when I was staying there, and I didn't know that there's a whole nudist colony there as well. Have you seen that? Yeah.
Wait a second.
I know your family's up for adventures. You guys might need to
Should we try the nudist colony?
It's called Hippie Hollow.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think I've ever been there.
It's been there for...
I know I've heard about it all the time, but I don't think I've ever gone. Maybe it's the new adventure when I go back.
Well,
I'll be there in
look for
November.
your Instagram.
Yeah, look for the nudist colony on my Instagram. You'll find it.
Yeah. Anyway, I just had to say.
I love it.
Okay, so when you went to Nashville, now talk about. So you're out there now, full time.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's a day like for you? What's your process out there, your songwriting process?
I wake up every day. I have to work out. It gets my brain going, and then I'll meet with one or two people and just start writing music. And usually, somebody will come in. Somebody's usually really passionate about some idea. And they'll be like, guys, this happened. Like, I wrote this song called Flowers with a couple friends, and my friend had just broken up with her boyfriend, and he sent her flowers, and it was only for this, like, a negative. He just really was trying to say, I'm sorry. And she's like, she just got so mad, and we were like, let's write about it. And so one of my favorite songs came from, her.
From that.
Yeah, her breakup.
We actually talked because I went to your show Thursday night at the Hotel Cafe with my mom as well, and we loved that song. And we were yesterday watching with my brother the Seinfeld new stand-up show on Netflix. Have you seen that one yet?
No, but
he did a whole thing about flowers, and my brother was like, "It's so right about the flowers and girls." Like, and we said, "I go, you should hear her songs like shove them where the sun don't shine," and all that stuff. So, yeah, it is true.
It's true, boys. Take the hint.
Yeah.
Give girls flowers. Not just when you're in trouble.
Exactly. So is that how, would you say most of your writing comes from like a real life event from somebody, or where's your inspiration?
I love writing from personal experience. I just think it's more fun. But sometimes we'll go in there and we'll just make stuff up, which is so cool. It's also, music is so therapeutic because if something does happen to you that's negative, you can get it out on paper and then it's not stored up in you. Like, I don't ever really harbor any negative feelings, because if I do, I just put them on paper and I write them out, and then they're gone. So usually it's from personal experiences or my friends' personal experiences or stuff like that. But when you do want to just have fun and make stuff up,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Not to bring it down, but that night at the show, you talked about that you had lost 2 friends at the same time. And so that way you turn to music to...
Absolutely. I mean, that's when I wrote that song, and I wrote it with a guy that was my first time writing with him. And I just came in, I was like, I'm feeling so sad today, and I want to write this, I just want to get it out. And he was like, let's do it. And it turned out to be probably my favorite song I've ever written, just because it means so much to me. And at every show I've played, it's touched someone. And someone's come up to me and been like, well, my mom died, or my friend died. And so music is so impactful, and I feel like it's the only thing in life that can really touch people. Even if they don't understand it, it still can touch them.
I'll definitely, being in the audience that night, it touched all of us, and the guy in front of me was actually in tears, and he had to leave for a little bit after.
Really?
Yeah, because the girl next to him was. So yeah, I think, but for me, I was so. I just admired your live performance so well, because you put so much of yourself out there.
Thank you.
You talk so much in between, which is wonderful, because I think you really get to see your personality. You have this gorgeous big smile and
weirdo
dimples,
personality.
but it's fun. But you do the balance, because you have all this fun, great energy. But then a moment like that's so sad but so real, but that everybody can like you said, relate to and know. So yeah, I just think that takes a lot of courage, to go up there and do that and be that open and that vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
it
just think
shows.
music, like, if you're real with people, then they'll relate to it and they'll get it. And so I think it's our job as musicians to be able to change the world, like, in a positive way through music, because we can.
Yeah,
So why not,
definitely. Okay, so back to Nashville a little bit. So do you have favorite places out there where you're performing now, or are you writing songs from other people? Like, kind of walk me through your business life out there.
Yeah, so if I perform out there, usually it's at the Listening Room Cafe, which I love. It's my favorite venue. It's so quaint, and the owners are wonderful, and they put so much effort into understanding songwriters and the whole process and knowing where songs come from. Because it's so fun to hear a story behind a song. And in usual shows, people don't really... I do in my shows because I really care about it, but a lot of people don't. So Listening Room is the perfect place to hear how a song got formed. But what were the other ones you asked? I just blanked.
And then just as far as business-wise, are you... do you have like a band you mainly work with? I know you said you write with some different people. Is there...
Yeah, I write with a bunch of different people, and it's so fun because if you write with this person, you write really well with them, they're like, oh, you should write with this person. And then you kind of figure out this whole little team. And now some of my writers have just become my best friends. So we experience things together, and then we're just able to write about it. One time I was at a bar with one of my best girlfriends, and we both looked at this guy, and we were just on the same page about what we thought about him. He was one of those guys that is so good looking, but when he opened his mouth, he's just super arrogant. Yeah. And we both looked at him, and we were like, should we go write it? And she was like, yeah. So we literally just left the bar and went and wrote this song. And it turned out great. But they do. You form a bond with your writers. You form a bond that you don't have with so many people, because in a writing room, you're so vulnerable. And you're really just putting yourself out there. And if you're not, the song doesn't turn out as well, Yeah,
definitely.
So you really get to know people on a way, way deeper basis.
I think we have the one clip from the Hotel Cafe. Because I think, was this the song the story was about the froyo
Oh,
craze too?
yeah, we were stuck in traffic and nobody was using their indicators. And so, did you hear I said the indicators? Yeah, so this came from traffic and it turned out to be a love song.
We'll play a little bit of it so you guys can hear the live. LA folks should be able to relate to
Yeah, the
the
traffic.
traffic one, then yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's great.
That's one you'd never think came from traffic.
Yeah. What was the one, and now I think I'm confusing the two, where you talked about you broke up with somebody at the, it was like, you made somebody sing at the frozen yogurt play, the woman
yeah, it was
behind
a Juice Land.
Juice Land, yes.
I told
Tell that
this
story, it's
lady,
great.
I was dating a guy at the time, and he was way back there with his friends, and I went up to the window to order my juice, and she had a microphone. It was like this, and it's like, Leslie, your order's ready, and that's all that she would use it for. And I said, do you ever do karaoke on that thing? And she was like, no, but do you have any requests? So of course I said, Journey, Don't Stop Believin'. And she picks up the microphone and she's like, I'm just a small town girl. She starts singing and everyone's like, they were loving it. And the guy I was dating at the time was mortified. I mean, he was so mortified, and he just left me. I was like, well, okay. And like 3 months later, I was frustrated with him about something, and I was like, is there anything that, pisses you off about me? Like, is there something that bothers you? And he goes, no. And I was like, come on. And he goes, okay. He's like, well, remember that time at Juice Land? And I was like, oh gosh. I was like, okay, that's my personality. I'm weird. I wasn't even the one singing, but I knew I had to kind of break it off. So,
And which was the
came
song
from
for that one?
That's Happy Place. That's the one I
Okay,
just
okay.
released
Okay.
in September.
We have that one. Let's play there's the Happy Place video, it's the YouTube video. Video is beautiful too.
Thank you.
He's got his arms around her waist, and I wish you'd were mine. She fills his head with memories that should have been mine. No, I can't love you like her, little love you like her, like she loves you. But you'll never love me like her, little love me like her, like you do. Oh, it's a shame, it's such a shame when someone else is in your happy place. Oh, it's a shame, but it's okay, 'cause I could never be your happy place, your happy place.
So beautiful. Tell me about creating this music video.
So this is crazy. So I went to film school at Texas, and I met my best friend in the world in that class, and so he and I make all of our videos together. So he lives out here, and I live in Nashville, and I had just sung at his sister's wedding, and he had one day where he wasn't working, and I said, do you want to fly back to Nashville with me? We'll shoot this video. We did it in one day. We'll shoot this video, and you can fly back to LA. He was like, yes. So he's the most talented person ever, and it's just so much fun that we get to work together.
Yeah, that's great. And those people, it's great to have people that you know, and like you said, that you've been
yeah.
friends with and helping you.
Well, he
we're
gets
good.
me, and he gets what makes me tick when I'm filming a video, and so it's really fun to work with your friends.
So did you all the prep? Where did you guys shoot this?
We shot it at a studio in Nashville, that beginning part, and then they actually shot the B-roll with the couple. They shot out here.
Cool.
So I didn't even get to be there for that part. I wish I did.
Were you just like, when you saw it all put
Yes,
together?
it looks so good, and I'm so proud because we were creating our first things when we were in film school. So he's come so far, and it's amazing to see what he's done with his talent.
Talk about your drive, and because I know your family, you're incredibly driven and doing things. So how is it for you, like getting things done? Like saying I'm going to produce this video, or I'm going to get this song out by. What kind of goals do you set for yourself, or how do you keep pushing?
Gosh, well, it's so interesting. people in music are very scatterbrained, I feel like. And I'm like, when it comes to like regular life, I'm, you know, super spontaneous and will do whatever. When it comes to music, I'm like, okay, this has to be done. So, I mean, once I write a song and if I'm really passionate about it, I find the right person to produce it. I'm working with 2 guys right now on my next single that's coming out. And we worked on a song accidentally together, and it just turned out really well. And so they became kind of my team for this next song. But yeah, once, you know, setting deadlines is super important, because otherwise, as creatives, nothing is perfect, right? And you're always thinking that something can be better. So I feel like if we set our deadlines, it's, you know, we actually were like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
But this video came together super fast. I mean, Mike and I decided probably a week before, and then we were like, let's do it. Like, we're so passionate about this song, and so we did.
Sometimes it's great, because then sometimes you don't have time to overanalyze. You just gotta go with it, you know?
We so did, and it's so fun because we rented the lighting equipment by ourselves, and we literally did everything ourselves, and so we learned a lot.
Yeah.
We learn so much each time we do it. But now I think we're gonna hire a crew for the next one. It's kind of hard to do it yourself.
Yeah. So. What are some other things that you've learned along the way now through your career, that either things that surprised you, or, you know?
Oh gosh. Man, I would say really listening from other people, like learning from other people, because there's so many mistakes that you can make, but I guarantee you your friends have made them too. And so, you know, watching around you and seeing what's happening, and like really actually learning from it, and taking something from each thing you do. Like on every project, I've learned how to handle situations differently, or certain people. Like in a writing room, some people are more sensitive to, you know, you saying, well, I don't really like that idea as much. What if we tried this? And there really is kind of an art in the way that you say it. And so you're encouraging, and you know, like, I love your thought process here, but maybe we go with different lyrics. And if you say it, you know, if you have a negative tone, people are like, oh, you know, it puts a different vibe in the room. So always like staying positive.
Yeah, especially in creative realms like that, where you want to be able to throw out bad ideas as well, because lots of times those bad ideas are then what get you somewhere along the lines. But if you're
bad
judging
ideas are the best ones. Yeah. They really do. The bad ideas start everything, and then, you know, once you throw out some stupid stuff, someone's like, oh, well, I'll throw out some stupid stuff, and then you find gold.
Yeah.
So many of mine. I tell anybody that's like new that I write with, I'm like, okay, you have to kind of like rein me in, because I will say some crazy stuff. And they're like, okay. It's so much better than just being nervous to look stupid, though, you know?
Yeah.
You just won't get anything if you do that.
Yeah. What are some of your, are there some places in Nashville that you know, want to play at, that you're like, have out on that vision board, or, you know?
Yeah. I think the next place I want to play, Nashville's 3rd and Lindsley. I really love that venue, and I haven't gotten to play it yet. I mean, the big dream, Bridgestone.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to play Bridgestone. There are also some really fun stages at CMA Fest that are outside Bridgestone. Is so much fun, and the whole city just like, you know, flocks to all these stages, and so I can't wait. I love CMA Fest so much.
I've been to one of those too with one of the girls here, and it was a blast.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I encourage everyone to go. It's just so fun.
Let's play real quick with part of the last YouTube video that we have. Here. So this was the intro song that you heard as well, which was another great video. What was the process behind this video?
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. It was like 30 degrees outside. And the boys were like, Leslie, our fingers are freezing. I'm like, guys, I don't know what to do. And then we lit all these candles. I had this vision, like, I was like, what if we light all these candles and just have them around? And then I didn't realize how long it was going to take us to film it. And by the end, these little candles, they were all just burned, and they were all over the ground. We stained the ground, and it was not my house. So I was like, oh my gosh. But it ended up being so fun. Like, I feel like it's just such a good representation of me, because it's so chill. And this is my favorite way to play music, is like sitting around a campfire with friends and like harmonizing with each other.
Yeah, I agree. I felt this video really got me in there too, you know, like you want to be around the circle with you guys, just like
it's just fun.
Yeah.
So, and those are great guys. Like, I've played music with them forever, so it's nice to have, you know, little videos of like where we started and where we'll go, and It's been nice. They're in the second one too.
Everybody sees it.
They were in the last one we saw.
They were in Happy
too.
Place. Yeah, they were in the band.
That's great.
And baby, it's no secret. It's now or never. Tell me, are we gonna do this? Just one kiss. Are you thinking what I'm
All right, let's switch gears a little bit, because one thing I loved when I was looking through your Instagram is just finding all the adventures that you've been on the places. So let's talk some of your favorite
Yes.
adventures. So far I pulled some from Alaska.
Yes.
And I wanted to quote like actually what you said on that, because TomGirl here, we like to push people to like get out there and do things and get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know? So you had said sometimes when you challenge yourself, you find magic that you didn't know existed. We hiked up a mountain through swampy waters, over fallen trees, jumped boulder to boulder, over cliffs, through a thunderstorm, and unexpectedly found the most magnificent masterpiece, a 360-degree triple rainbow, which I didn't even know existed.
I
So
didn't
I was like,
either.
what?
And in that picture, you really can't even see it. There's water underneath, so it's a full. I mean, it was 3 full rainbows. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, like that had to just take your breath away and just.
We just sat
Amazing.
there. We all just sat there in silence. We were like, just soak it in.
Yeah. Amazing. So you go on to say, days like today remind me that I'm doing what I was made to do, running through and toward the unknown at full force, not knowing what lies ahead, but being confident in the journey. Go do something crazy today, chase something that you might not think is possible, love someone that you think is unlovable, and do it with all your heart. You never know what you'll find on the other side. It was just beautiful. And is that like, what kind of things, like, do adventures get you, when you are having those moments where maybe you're having self-doubt or wondering like, oh, can I really do this music? Like, we all go through, like, how do you get through those?
Well, I think in any creative realm, you're taking a chance, and you're taking a chance every day, and it's, if you're passionate enough, like, you'll make it happen. And I totally believe that. Like, if you have the talent and you like want it bad enough, you can do anything. And I think so many people get scared, and they're scared of rejection, and entertainment's full of rejection. So like, get used to it,
Yeah.
But then you see something like that and you're like, oh my gosh. And honestly, I didn't even know if we were gonna make it up that mountain. It was crazy. And the funny thing is, my mom over there, she is the clumsiest person ever. And she went up the mountain before I did, because I was still fishing. And she came back down and she was like, Leslie, I don't know how I made it up that mountain. And she didn't fall in any holes, which I'm so proud of her for. But after I hiked it, I was like, okay, well, all these girls did it. Like, it's not going to be hard. Yeah. And we did it. I mean, there were cliffs, and there were like boulders that fell and trees. I mean, you just fall into holes. It was wild. I was so proud. I literally felt like a proud mom. I was like, Mom, you did that. That was amazing.
I didn't want to get eaten by a bear.
Yeah, because if you got left behind,
Yeah.
you would be the one to get eaten by the bear, because there are bears everywhere, and you didn't have anything to protect yourself if you fell behind.
Did you see any bears while you were up? Yeah.
Oh, we did. I mean, they were like right there. So it was really fun, but man, and the guy that I'm in with that picture, he was our guide on the trip. And so like, we just had this like, he goes, I've never seen something like this as long as I've worked here.
Wow.
It was just so cool, and seeing things like that just kind of put life into perspective.
Yeah.
Like, take the time to soak it in.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Amazing.
think that's another thing, like with music or film or whatever you're doing, like, take the time to appreciate where you are, because a lot of people, you get to the next step and they just want to get to the next step. And there's so much fun in the journey. And like, my parents have taught us that, like, just appreciating every single step of the journey,
I'm sure getting out and doing these adventures and stuff too helps, like, free the mind, get inspiration, get,
Oh, we did. It totally gave us inspiration, because this trip was 6 girls, and I don't think these boys at this lodge had ever seen 6 girls come into a fishing lodge before.
We have, go ahead and put a couple of our fishing photos as well. We're talking about this too. Good.
Oh my gosh. That guy's name is Jack. He was a funny one, but they'd never seen, girls just like coming in and hanging. And so one of the guides, before I saw this guy, he goes, okay, what you have to do is pretend like you have it was cold. I mean, it was really cold. He goes, pretend like you have a bikini and just ask him where you can change into your bikini. Because clearly you're going to be in your full waders, We were all decked out, and I go, excuse me. I was like, where do I change into my bikini? And all of their faces, it was like, what? Like, they thought we were aliens. And then we ended up having so much fun with them. Oh my gosh. And we'd cook our lunch. Like, we'd catch our salmon and then we'd eat it for lunch.
Was this you were with a guide? Was this like a certain place you go to get this adventure, or did you guys research this? How did you, tell us a little bit how people want to do this.
We went to Tikchik Narrows in Alaska, which is the coolest lodge ever. And you have guides there, and so you stay in these little cabins, and you're the only ones on the cabins. And you take float planes everywhere, so they know like each place has these certain type of fish. And I mean, we fished in the rain. Like one day it was 100 degrees, which doesn't even happen, I feel like, in Alaska. And then the next it was like 40.
Wow.
It was wild. So
I think we just go through a couple more photos. I think we might have a picture of the planes you were on as well. Please, Anthony.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the crazy thing is, it doesn't get dark till 1 or 2 in the morning there. I mean, it's light forever. And so this was sunset, this was midnight. And I was in my full, like, all of my clothes from the plane that first night. And I guess I folded to peer pressure because all of the guides were jumping in the water. And they were like, you should do it. And I was up on the plane. The pilot let me get on the wing of the plane. And they were like, you should jump. And I was like, okay. I threw my shoes off and I just jumped in this Alaskan water, and it was freezing. But I got the coolest picture of this unbelievable sunset at midnight and me just like jumping in the water. Those are the moments you're like, oh,
yeah. How did you
awesome.
adjust to that time too, or did you just have all kinds of energy, or how did it feel?
We would stay up at night and hang out with all of the guides because we just had so much fun with them. And my mom was there, and we just stay up and drink wine. And you could even like fly fish. You could go to the thing, go to the river and fly fish at 11 p.m. if you wanted to. So it didn't bother us, but we were exhausted the whole time.
And who was this group of 6 ladies? It was you two.
It was the two of us and a lady that I lived with who kind of adopted me when I first moved to Nashville. And then my new kind of sister-in-law, I set her up with her husband now. Which is so crazy to say. So she came with us, and then 2 other friends from Nashville. And it was the best group of girls. I mean, I can't even imagine a better trip. It was awesome.
That's great. All right, can we scroll through? I think we have maybe a couple of your trip from Africa as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's the silverback.
Amazing. Yeah, tell me about that.
Oh my gosh, this was probably the coolest adventure I've ever been on. These silverbacks, so there's a tracker that goes in the woods. They wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. They go in the woods and they find where the family is that day. And then they kind of stay near, and then they radio you. And so you're with your group, so 4 or 5 people, and then you have a guide, and you trek through the woods. It could be, you could find him in 30 minutes, and you could find him in 3 hours. You have no idea how long this trek's gonna be.
Yeah.
But you're actually in the middle of the jungle, and with no car. And then all of a sudden you walk up onto this beautiful family of gorillas, and they have this noise. And the guide like kind of preface it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna teach you their language. And you think he's just trying to make you look stupid, but there's a real language. So, you know, when the gorillas, when they first come, you have to say, I come in peace. And they do like, and so he makes you do it. But then once you do it, the gorilla assumes you are a friend. And then they let you, you know, they come up and they mess with your legs, and I mean, it's wild. You are just in their home.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's really cool.
Were you on that one as well? No.
No, I wish you was. Oh my gosh. I think everyone should experience that in their lifetime.
That one's definitely on my bucket list. Sometime I would love to see.
Do it.
Yeah. Now here's the whole family. Was this one in Acadia National Park?
Yeah, that was in
one?
Acadia. My dad grew up in Maine, and so he used to go up there all the time as a kid, and so we go up to Maine every single year, and we're so weird. And we're missing our sister there, but yeah, Maine's a really special place to us.
So I'm going to talk about the family a bit, because you guys, I was actually at the SAG Awards and so your brother Glenn Powell was in Hidden Figures.
Yes.
Not So Scream Queens. But there's a picture of you guys. So I remember talking to Glenn there, but then the next day, all the news everywhere on all the stations was what a fun family you guys are. Like, what made you guys decide to? I loved it because it was awesome, because everybody's so structured, you know, at those events on those red carpets. And you guys just went for it, and you were crazy. So tell me about how this got decided, how you guys this happened.
You kind of never know when to push the limits and when not to, but I feel like we push the limits most of the time.
I think it's a good motto.
Yeah, everyone, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's what we've learned. I feel like that's my mom's motto. But but I can't remember, was that your idea or was that Glenn's? It was Glenn's. Okay, Glenn was like,
yeah.
guys, we're just going to go dance. And I'm telling you, everyone on that back of that row, they were just like, what is happening? Like, I think my mom photobombed one of Glenn's Entertainment Weekly interviews or something like that. I'm pretty sure that red carpet just didn't know what to do.
They didn't. It was awesome.
It was so much fun. And my brother's team was there too, and we got them to dance, and it was just so fun. Everyone just came out of their shells.
Yeah, it was great because all the reporters like the next day too, because usually it's what were you wearing, who were you wearing, all this stuff, and it's always like the Powell family was dancing down the red carpet, and like that was awesome.
That was such a fun night, and Glenn got his first SAG award that night. It was really special.
To talk about this family unit, I mean, obviously you have wonderful parents, and I mean, just how big an influence does that play, and like you guys being able to, all of you children being able to pursue your dreams, go after what you'd like, and obviously, having these two as role models and stuff.
It's been amazing. I think that doing something like we talked about earlier in a rejection-based industry, if you don't have a good support system, it's probably a million times harder. And my parents are my biggest fans, my sister, my brother. I mean, Glenn and I talk on the phone every single day about music and film and ideas, and like, he'll call me and be like, oh my gosh, something happened today, and he's like, you should write a song about this. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I heard someone say this, and this could be a really cool idea for a script. And it just matters. Like, family matters, and they've been so supportive always, and it makes life so much more fun. And they also want to be a part of everything. Like, they'll fly in for the premieres, they'll fly in for my show. Like, they were here for Hotel Cafe. It's just special. And I want to be like them when I grow up, because they don't miss out on anything. The term FOMO. I literally think they coined the term FOMO, or at least my mom did. She's the queen of FOMO. She won't miss out on anything.
And how is it for you guys watching your kids?
It's the best thing ever. And for people that don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out, and it's very real.
It's very real.
It is fun for us. We just love following them around and going to the shows and just sharing all the joy. It's really a treat.
Yeah. And it's really fun to watch. We knew when they were kids what their passions in life were, and it's really fun to see them realizing their passions.
Oh, I'm sure.
Feel wonderful.
Oh, it's great. Wonderful. I love it. You know what? We were not going to talk about in Africa, that song. Yeah, go ahead and tell that story.
Not Gonna Say Goodbye. So this is actually my first song I ever got cut, was a song Not Gonna Say Goodbye, and an artist, Elvis Blue, cut it, and he was in South Africa. And so this was so crazy. When I got to go to Africa this year, I was like, we have to go to South Africa. And one of the guys that we met there, he asked me, he's like, what do you do? And so I was kind of telling him about music, and I said, it's so funny, do you know an artist named Elvis Blue? And he goes, yeah. And he pulls out his phone, and my song, this is so crazy, my song was his ringtone like 2 years ago. It was the coolest experience ever. And also my cousins were like, what?
Yeah.
They were like, this doesn't make any sense. It was so unexpected and awesome.
But again, how crazy how his music unites the world.
Yeah, it does.
She's in touch with people all over.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
That's awesome. And one more, we had the picture of you. At Hotel Cafe, you did also tell an amazing story about a girl in a bra at a party you guys were having, and there was a kangaroo, and my mom and I went home and were like, where's there a kangaroo at their party? Like, so I want to hear this story.
There is.
Well.
So that kangaroo and I are Lady and the Tramping it. There was a carrot in my mouth. We have always had just crazy animals. My whole family loves animals, and the kangaroo has been the most fun one, I think. And we have a monkey as well.
So this is at the house in Texas?
This is at the ranch in Texas, and my aunt has always loved just animals and just adventures. And so anyway, I call this kangaroo Kanga. Sometimes we all make up our own names for her. And we've probably named like all of our animals Barbie at one point too. But yeah, she's a part of the family, and she wears diapers and runs around the house, and she just hangs out, and she's so sweet and loving, and just like, she just wants to be with you, and she'll follow you around. We love her. And she makes great Instagram videos. I think she's an Instagram star. And so is Charlie the monkey. He's crazy. He has such an attitude. And, if you have like a soda that he wants, he will he will take it from you, and you better not say no.
Okay, I'm going to dig for those ones. I didn't see those.
You'll find him. If you dig on my Instagram, you'll definitely find them.
Okay, I'm gonna look. I looked for the kangaroo, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's the kangaroo from the party.
That's it.
All right. This one I just pulled because you said this was your happy place. So it was in your yoga clothes.
Oh my gosh. Yoga pants. If I could be in anything, it would be yoga pants and a workout top. But it was just fun. This was actually in Malibu when I was here in California last time, and it was the most magnificent sunset. I just wanted to go up there and just sit, because that just makes me relax. Like a sunset and a glass of wine. You can't beat it.
That's when I was at Nashville. The place I rented, it was on Lake, I forget the name. It's not Lake Norman, because that's Old Town or Oak. Oh crap! It's like 20 minutes outside of town.
Yeah.
Anyway, they like left a bottle of wine, and then they had this giant boat dock, and you could just go down there.
It's
and
the best.
Just look at this. Yeah, and I was like, that was a great welcome to an adventure, just to sit there and watch the sunset, and so calming.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Or you have any other happy places or places that you like?
Gosh, you
Go-to
know,
places?
I love stargazing. That's probably one of my favorite things in the entire world. So at the ranch, there's an observatory. So I just will go up there by myself or with people and just sit and watch stars. I will stay up there for hours. And then also just like with my family, like we'll go any trips that we go on. I feel like everyone's really intentional about putting their phones away and just being together. Or if we do have our phones out, it's because we're making videos. Because we love that too.
Yeah.
Like when we were in Maine, we were making videos with the twins. And I have this thing, my sister just had twins. And I have taught them over FaceTime to stick their tongues out. Like, I don't know why it happened. I really don't. But that's our language, because they can't speak. And so now that's just our thing. But we were all trying to get them to do it in person. So we were all just making videos of sticking our tongues out with the babies, and it's great. We're weirdos.
No, it's fun. All right, so to wrap things up, tell us what's next for you, like news. And
Well, I have a new song coming out in November. It's called Not You. And my friend Mike Miller and then my other friend Andrew Dixon, they're both producing it. So that's probably one of my favorite songs ever. And I just wrote it pretty recently, so I cannot wait for y'all to hear it.
There's another new one that you sang at Hotel Cafe, Love
Yes.
Will, right? When will
Yes.
people be able to hear that one?
That one will be in November as well.
Okay.
So get ready. That's
Good stuff in November.
Yes, November's a big month. I'm really excited about it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. Tell everybody again about your website, where to follow you.
Yeah, you can go to LesliePowellMusic.com, and then Instagram is Leslie Powell Music, and Twitter is Leslie610.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Go check her out. Amazing songs. You're going to love it, love it, love it. All right, you can follow me at TomGirl TV, and we'll see you again here next Tuesday. Have a great week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.